All right, we'll go ahead and continue with Oregon State coach Gary Andersen. The Beavers are on the road at Utah this weekend. We'll go ahead and take questions for Coach.
To ask Coach a question, please press star 1. And your first question comes from the line of Kevin Gimble, ESPN.
Hey, Coach, you obviously had a sense of what the challenge would be coming in the sense that you didn't have a bunch of 4- and 5-star guys or a 3-year starter at quarterback. Has the challenge been about on par what you expected it to be?
Probably a little bit more of a challenge than I thought when I walked in. I knew I wanted this job and it's where I wanted to be, so I didn't do an absolute study of the personnel, and I didn't really care. I know where it can go in the future, and I know what our mindset is, but it's surprising when you walk in and you have that number of kids that have played or have started, or young men that are having to just the roster to come in and have 10 seniors or so and right now 3 or 4 of those kids are playing for us. So those are surprises. They're not negatives. It is what it is, but it doesn't deter us in any way, shape, or form. It's a great challenge, and right now our challenge is can work with the kids we have right now to get them better every day. And I love the fight. I love the situation we're in, and working to get this team better for as many games we have left for this year is the goal. So they're all challenging, and this one is unique in ways, and they all are.
What's the pulse of the team right now?
Very good. These kids I think our youth movement is definitely moving through this team, and I say that in a very positive way, not in a negative way. Our seniors are understanding of that the young kids can help us get better, and however any success we have is going to be with the youth truly helping us, and the seniors want to get as much help as they can. They come out to fight and work every single day. They get knocked down, the loss hurt them, and I think they're learning to understand those losses hurt more and more, because that is the goal, to go out and win, not to play good, not to be happy to be in the Pac-12 or any of those things. So they're working like crazy. They're a very fun group to coach. They're eager to learn, and they're eager to have success, which we haven't had much of, but they're eager for that, which is great to see.
Great. Thanks, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
And your next question comes on the line of Kyle Goon, the Salt Lake Tribune.
Hey, Coach, I'm sure being on the drive that you're watching the episodes, what's it been like to not only watch your own season kind of progress, but also Utah's and get a feel for what's going on in that locker room this year?
Well, it's great to watch Utah, and it's great to see us. It's great for both programs from obviously a recruiting standpoint. I think it's important for us. A lot of people know Kyle, they know Utah's program, they know many of the assistant coaches, but for us to be able to get out there and people to be able to understand who we are, what we're about, we're not going to change. We want to be built on toughness, we want to be aggressive, we want to hold kids accountable, all the things that we talk about. I think it shows through on that show very, very well, and we're not going to change. For Utah to see what they're going through, it's two different sides of the spectrum. I would say where Utah may have been, whatever that 4 years ago or whenever that transformation was taken to get into the Pac-12, and I think we're in that transition here at Oregon State. I think we're transforming ourselves from the Pac-10, if you will, into the Pac-12, and we're excited about that opportunity, and that's a big challenge. And I listened to Kyle for years, in personal conversations as they were going through that transformation of what he had to do and where he thought they were going and his staff was trying to do and recruit and so on and so forth. So much of that model we look at and say, yeah, we need to get in that same area and move in that same direction. But it's fun to see for Kyle, and really for me, for Kyle, because he's very close to me, to see him have the success that he's had now after those tough years where there was a lot of doubters. It does us all good in the profession, and it does for a good friend. It does good to me to see him do well.
And you bring up recruiting. I was just wondering, you have a lot of coaches, including yourself, that have recruited the state of Utah. What do you kind of see that you guys offer that maybe is a little different from other schools, either in the state or other schools who recruit in Utah?
Well, every school is a unique fit. If you sit back and you look what Oregon State is it's a big school, but it's sit within a smaller town. And I just think the sense of the community, the university to the community to the university is very tight-knit. It's an unbelievable setting. It's a true college town. Those are great things. And, you got to dare to be different. So, the mindset is you walk in here, you're going to get brand new facilities. Everything's brand new a year from right now, and brand new fresh air, breath of fresh air as you walk through a university that has a commitment through the administration to give you everything that you need to be successful, which we will have not in 4 or 5 years. We'll have it next year in the fall of 2016. And then you look and you sit and say, where can it go? It's a young team. There's a whole new vibe. So those are exciting things and exciting spots. But every place has its unique fits. The key for us is to find those kids that like our fit because, again, we're not going to change what we are, and we don't have to go out and sell anything. We just have to show you this great place, and then if you want to come and be part of it, then you'll be part of history as we move forward of very successful teams.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And your next question comes from the line of Rob Oler, Columbus Dispatch.
Coach, a little off topic. I'm writing about the accountability between a head coach and his assistants. For example, you worked for Urban. Did you feel the freedom to speak up on any decision he made and counter him or agree with it, either way? And then on the reverse of that, as head coach, do you welcome and actually demand that assistants kind of call you out and question, sort of transparency, accountability?
Yeah, first of all, with Urban, I think Urban expected that of me when he hired me. He sat down and let me know that he wanted me to have a voice because I had been at Utah before. He had myself and Kyle, and I was on the defensive staff. Kyle and I were basically left alone, and all the defensive staff were left alone in that room. But if I had a situation with a kid or an issue or a problem, I had no problem going in and communicating with Urban and telling him what I believed. And there was a couple times where we may not have agreed, but I definitely wanted to be able to voice my opinion, and he allowed me to be able to do that, much like Kyle was when he was a head coach. That carried me into myself right now. I absolutely want that. I don't need a bunch of yes men. I need guys that are going to come in and say this is what we think. Ultimately, yeah, I'm going to make the decision, but I want my assistants to be able to have control of their position groups or their side of the football. If I need to get involved, I'll get involved. But if they see things that can make us better, whatever it may be, weight room, recruiting, the way our kids eat, whatever, study hall, I want them to have free license to walk into me and communicate with it. And if it makes us better, we'll change it.
Maybe a little tougher follow. Is that go for Ingame also, or is that a different animal?
No, Ingame is very. I'm a believer in letting the coordinators coach and the coaches coach. I'm not whatever it may be, smart enough, hooked up that way, whatever you want to call it, to say that I can go in there and run an offense and run a defense completely and going into a game, and for sure not on offense because I have no idea how to do that, far from an offensive coordinator. And on defense, I want my defensive coordinator to have freedom. Kyle was awesome with me when I had an opportunity to be the coordinator at Utah when I'd never been a coordinator, and again, I learned from that, and that's why I give Kalani or Dave Aranda, whoever's been my coordinators through the years, the opportunity to be able to make the calls on game day. Tough decisions, go for it, fake it, this and that. I'm highly involved in that, and I make those decisions, but I also want input there. So I don't put myself on a pedestal in any way, shape, or form. I'm just like another assistant coach here trying to help kids move along. My job just happens to be being the head coach.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Again, to ask a question, please press *1.
Any further questions for Coach? All right, that'll do it. Gary, hey, thanks for your time today, and good luck this week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Go Beavs.
Okay, we'll see you.